How's it going? Let's see. How are we doing? How are we doing? Let me let me pull up the stream here real quick. Let me see how we're sounding. Oh, we got echo. We got reverb. I think I could have the game volume down just a little bit lower. Just a little bit lower. All right. How is it going though, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back, everyone. We are here to play some more Advanced Wars. We're here with Drunken Saturdays. We're Drunken Strategy. That's what we're here to do. I've had my whiskey, and now it is time to do. We are here to play Field Mission 3 Base Capture today. That is what we're here for. But first, we're just gonna chill out a little bit. That's what we're gonna do. Was trying to watch Dragon Ball with my buddy, but he ended up passing out. Supposed to watch 2 episodes today of the new show Dragon Ball Daima, and he fell asleep maybe about third to a halfway through the 2nd episode. So we almost got it. We almost got it. But you know, when we're both adults and we both work, the energy isn't always there. It's not there every time. But I hope everyone's doing all right today. Hope everyone enjoyed their Saturday. It was small, but kids took the kids out to Subway today. That was fun. They got to, because the kids get to watch, the sandwich being made. They get to see all the ingredients, all the steps. And my son's getting better because on his sandwich we'll just put, a little bit of mayo, the oil and dressings. But my daughter is she had green pepper, tried it, liked it. And even though she loves tomato sauce, she was one of those kids that anytime she would see tomato on something, just, ew. And sure enough, she sees a tomato on my sandwich, and I was like, well, here, you want one? And she tries it, and she, of course, fucking loved it. So, it was a good day. It was fun. My girl got her new car today, which is extra nice, because, hoo boy, having one vehicle was kind of annoying, especially when her eldest son, my stepson, who's 18, oh man, getting him to do anything, it's like pulling teeth. Any and everything, he's always got an issue with. But, you deal with it. He's probably not. I don't even know how long he's going to stay with us. He only started staying with us during the summer. And that's what worries me, is that it's going to be longer than the summer. Because, oh boy. Ugh. And it's not my stepson's fault. It really isn't. He was raised by his grandparents who... They fed the beast. That's what they did. They made him worse in every way. Just... Like... When he was little... and my girl, was living with them, the kid was basically not allowed to be crying. They didn't want to hear him crying. So if he was crying, she had to make him shut up. So he got coddled from her one way or the other, whether she wanted to or not, when he was a baby. And then when he got older, when me and my girl got together, he was... he would have been 11 when we got together. He was 11 years old. He had just turned 11 when we got together. And me and my girl, I would never recommend this. Never, 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 never. Relationship advice, dudes out there, listen, do not live with a woman until you've been with her for at least a year. And also remember that you have not truly dated her until you've lived with her. and obviously I would say this for women too. This is exactly the same advice. Date a guy for about a year, and when you live with him, that's when you're really gonna find out who he is. Like, let that first year be, dealing with the representative, and then after that, understand what you're getting. But we ended up, just for reasons, we ended up living together after we got together for the first time. Like, it was like end of September somewhere. It was right before my birthday of 2018. So, we started living together like 3 months into our relationship. And because my stepson had always lived with his grandparents, he obviously stayed with his grandparents, which I understand. Trust me, as someone who was raised by his grandparents, I gotcha. I get how that works. Like, I understand making that choice. But the problem is that I don't mean to disparage my girl's parents, but they fucking suck, bro. They're the worst. Not like in a malicious way. They're not bad. They don't like they didn't not take care of the kid. Like, they did their job. It's just nobody cooked in the house. Like, here, I'm the primary cook. I cook the most food. Nobody cooked in their house. Not the grandmother, not the grandfather. So usually what would end up happening is, on the way home, he would just tell his grandpa what to pick him up. And usually, if you're in the Midwest, it was usually a Culver's, or it was McDonald's, or a Mc whatever fast junk food garbage is what it always was. So he had everything. Like, he was just, even now, getting him to try any food is good luck. So, his living with him now that he's an adult, like, he has gotten better. I will not discount that. Like, my stepson has gotten a lot better with the way that he acts, the way that he behaves, the way that he conducts himself, especially ever since the birth of my daughter. Because it was the day before my daughter was born. He was 15 at the time, maybe 14, 15, somewhere around there. Let's see, she's going to turn 4 this year. He would have been 14. And I remember my girl was about to induce her pregnancy the next day. And, she had been pregnant for 9 months. Hormones, emotions, everything's running high. And I just remember something. I don't even remember what happened. But we got into a fight with him. And I remember basically, as bad as it is to say, I remember screaming at my stepson and being like, bro, your mom is giving birth tomorrow. Can we just chill the fuck out? Like, can we please just chill? You're stressed, we're stressed, everything. And honestly, since then, my stepson has always been on a steady progression upwards. He's gotten better. He's gotten more responsible with certain things. He has gotten better. But trying to undo like 11 years worth of grandparents coddling you, it takes, like, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is like a law. I don't know if it's a rule of thumb. I don't know what it is. But I feel like a lot of things tend to take as long to fix as they took to break. And, it was like realistically, this kid lived with his grandparents for almost 18 years of his life. And I hate to say that it's going to take nearly 18 years for this kid to get better in like a real adult sense. And it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like things fix themselves in longer times than they take to break. I even think that's true on, like, if we're going to be fucking lame and, like, nerdy and political, I feel like that's the same with society as well. Like, if you're here in America, we started bringing slaves over in, like, what, 1619 was it? And it was only in 1970. I know in America slavery was ended in the 1800s, but it wasn't until, like, redlining of, not allowing certain groups of people to buy or rent property in certain areas, redlining. It wasn't until that was finally made illegal, which I think was in 1970, that you could really say that, like, all right, black folk in America are finally, like, it's going to still socially happen, but at least, like, on the books, they are no longer second class citizens. And, you think of, I was going to say about it, but I couldn't speak. You think about it, and it's like, that's 351 years. From 1619 to 1970. Like, it's a good solid, like, all right, these people are no longer legally second-class citizens. And it's like, all right, well, if a thing took 351 years of a problem existing and a problem to be there, then it's going to probably, unless very specific, like, focus is paid attention to it, on its own, it's probably going to fix itself in, whether you like it or not, about 351 years. Now you can speed up the process, you can slow down the process a little bit, but in general, things tend to fix themselves, and as long as they take to build up. That is a wild tangent to go on. But yeah, I think that's even the same when it comes to people. Like, definitely I think it's the same with people. If a person was, whether they like it or not, if they were, in some way abused by their parents, even if it's not, in some heinous way, if they were maltreated by their, parental figures, it's probably going to take, if it happened for about 18 years, it's probably going to take about 18 years to get rid of that. Maybe a little faster if you put extra super intense focus on it, but I feel like that's just how things are. Things tend to just build up and solve themselves in about equal amount of time. It's weird to think that, like, all right, well, this problem existed in this human's life for 18 years. I want it to solve itself faster than that. And it's like, it might happen, but that is most people might not realize that is a big ask, because most people are just hiding all the shit that they're still going through, because, that's what we do. We don't work through our problems. We bottle them inside until we can take it out on our loved ones. Or you do what I do and you smoke marijuana and yell at old video games. You could also do that. Get your accomplishments however you need to get them. We're almost done having our little chill session. It's about time to start the episode, like, proper. That's always my format. That's the format I want to go by. I always want it to be like 15 minutes of hangout, chill, schmooze. I get to talk about whatever's on my mind. Then we play our game, and, maybe 15 minutes later to hang out. That didn't happen on the first week that I tried this, because I wasn't actually being rushed, but I thought I was. So I ended prematurely. Premature stream cancellation. Other kinds of accolations. Why is Nell looking at me like that? Stop it, woman. Stop. You are horrible. All right, let's take this smackaroonie. And it's time to go. All right, drunken strategy. Let's go. Base. Let me make sure nothing else pops up. Capturing bases is the focus of this mission. Base capture. Obviously, as you can tell, I guess I should say this in case, because nobody's going to be a repeat viewer. I have already, on my channel, you can look it up, I have already beaten through this game. But I don't know, there's just something about the strategy games that just lend themselves to a live setting. So I wanted to replay through Advance Wars. And when I'm done with this, I will play Advance Wars 2. So we're going to just go right from one into the other. I may replay this game, the campaign, because I found out that there were, like, I know there's a branching path, and I didn't really care about that, but there is a map that you can only do if you beat all the other maps. And yeah, I obviously want to do that, obviously. So I may do that. So I may replay through this campaign twice. I'm obviously not going to redo the field training twice. The field training is just due to some logistic reasons to how streaming kind of changed for me over the last few months, and we got a new setup. So this is just a low investment way of making sure over the next couple of months that it works, because if I'm going to be playing through, I want to do the actual campaign and the war room. You know, that together is already looking at like a year and a half's worth of dedication just to this game. So I want to make sure by using the field training missions that everything's working week after week, everything's consistent, and if it is, booyah, game time. So base capture. Capturing bases is the focus of this mission. Our current mission is to storm the Spire Hills. If successful, we should be able to drive that pompous we should be able to force the Blue Moon forces to withdraw. If you remember, we faced 2 mech units in the last battle, right? In response, you've been given command of 2 mech units yourself. Mission 3. Base capture! Day 1. This area is crucial to the defense of the Alara region. This explains the 4 enemy tank units deployed and waiting for us. Fortunately for us, those tanks can't cross the mountains. So let's take care of business here first and deal with them later. Let's secure some bases by capturing the local cities. Select this infantry unit, please. Would you move it here? Yes, ma'am. Do you see the new menu command, capture? Capped. Please select this command. I will never, ever, 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 ever skip animations, because I only play this once a week, and the animations are what brings me joy. So I will never get rid of them. This city is now half captured. It takes at least 2 days to capture a city. Order this unit to capture again next turn to secure an allied base. Oh, I almost forgot. Don't move a unit that's in the process of capturing a city. If you do, you'll have to begin capturing it all over again. Same is true if the capturing unit loses all of its HP. Do your best to protect units. Trying to protect units. Trying to secure new bases. Alright. Okay, now let's move this mech unit. Only infantry and mech units can capture new bases. Remember this when deploying units into unsecured areas. Move this unit to this position, please. Alright, now move the rest of them towards the cities. Select end when we're done. Alright, cool. Nice and easy. Enemy forces have appeared again. Those cowards attacking my most remote units. How typical. But wait, I have some take units deployed there. Crushing those infantry. Oh boy. I did not put my shit on Do Not Disturb. That's just a woman letting me know she's on her way. Like a good girlfriend is supposed to do. Crushing those infantry and mech units will be a piece of cake. Fight on, my loyal troops. This time you shall be victorious. Now those, obviously, if you look, these tanks... Oh, wait. It's your turn. First, you should always start by completing the capture of cities. Please select this infantry unit and press the A button. So yeah, if you look, these tanks have no way to actually go to this base. So you could just run one of these guys down here and win. Easy. Which we might end up doing. Because 4 tanks, even having 2 mech units, that is quite a lot to be doing. Oh, wait. Alright. I don't know what she was saying, but it was a tantamount to, you weren't listening to me. One sec. Do. Alright, now the city is yours. It's the same color as your troops, right? You can now use it as a base. So now you can see that these cities are under enemy control. By the way, gray cities are neutral. Let's get back to discussing bases. If you put a damaged unit in a base, it will recover some HP each turn. You will also receive 100 G per day from each city you capture. Those funds are crucial for restoring HP to your units. Funds are also used for other purposes, but I'll explain those later. Okay, now use this mech unit to capture a new base. Would you please select this unit? Now here's a problem for you. 2 cities are within your movement range. One is neutral and one is hostile. Which one should you capture first? Obviously the hostile. Rob the enemy of their funds first. Yes, that is the correct choice. Of course, capturing either one of those cities is a plus for you, but if you secure the enemy city, you also reduce your foe's funds. Oh yes, there's one more thing you need to know. Look here and see how long it will take to secure the city. The capture number is now 10. When this number is reduced to 0, the city is secured. An infantry unit has 10 HP, so it takes 2 days to capture a city. With a capture number of 20, a damaged unit has less HP, so it'll take longer for it to capture a city. So now you know how to capture cities, right? I'm going to let you make all of the command decisions from now on. Would you like some advice on how to proceed? Sure. Naturally, you can win this battle by defeating all of the enemy units. However, the enemy's tank units are extremely powerful. Fighting them head-on is not an advisable strategy. I suggest waiting by your bases and taking out the infantry and mech units first. Avoid the tank units as you try to capture the enemy HQ. The weakness of tank units is that their treads won't allow them to move through mountains. Place the cursor on a unit or terrain and press the R button for more valuable intel. One last thing, don't let the enemy capture your HQ. You will lose if this happens. That's all. Good luck. Alright, rob them. There we go. Solid. No, let's just capture first. Oh, that's not actually what I meant to do. Wow. Cool, bro. Cool. All right, fire upon him from here. There we go. Light him up, finish them off. Take advantage of the mountains. And now, even though there's lower defense, you know what, we're just gonna do some damage, so that way we make it harder for him to attack the other guy. They're already gonna be a bit vulnerable here from the one undamaged mech unit. That is most unwise. What led to this decision making? Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this. Fire upon him. They're just making a breakneck move for the base, and I don't understand why. Yeah, I don't know where you think you're going. Beautiful. And he's on the city too. Ready to replenish health. All right, get rid of him. Start off with less health. Start off with less health. Yes. All right, you can reach. All right, put you here. All right. I'm cool with this. They're all in spots where only one enemy can hit them. And that's what I want to keep. That's what I want to keep. All right. This is not gonna work. What? I feel like I'm being pandered to. What is this nonsense? Blah, blah, blah. Nah, it should be relatively fine. Relatively. Still does 2 damage. Still does 2 damage. That's what I like. Shoot on you for no reason. It's a dumb decision, but, you know, it's a training mission. I don't really care too much. And now I will retreat off of these mountains. Let's just move to capture these bases here. I'll put you here. There we go. There we go. Light them up. Light them up. Delicious. Do chip damage for no reason. Do chip damage for no reason. Oh, you combined? Wow. That's actually a really hilarious move. I should have been bringing them up north where there's a city right next to instead of farther away. That was L maneuver on my part. Okay. How far can you reach? Yeah, hit him with that 4 damage. Hit him with that 4 damage. I'm not going to capture that base yet. Venture on this side, bro. Venture on this side. Oh, yeah, you're mine. Go ahead and do it. Oh, que pussy. I don't mind occupying his base for a little while. Just. Oh, yeah. Be mad about it. Be mad about it. Pussy. Eliminated. Outstanding. You've reclaimed the area and forced Blue Moon to withdraw. There's one more thing I have to tell you. You receive funds by capturing cities, right? Once you clear a map, you lose those funds. Sorry. Good luck on the next battle. Unbelievable. We've been forced to withdraw? What's going on? What were the tank units doing, those useless fools? I'll take direct command next time. I'll show you all. All right, what do we got? And as always, look at that. I got a lower rank than what I got my last time. And you know why? All because I just didn't capture the base. That's why. I wanted to eliminate everyone. And I was not satisfied until I did. So, I don't need to save. I got an A last time, but that's because I just obviously captured the base last time. So, alright, cool. That is 3 missions down. Next is going to be unit repair next week. It's 105 now. That's perfect. 15 minutes, go inside at about 120. Just chilling. I feel like my whiskey is just enough out of my system. Just enough to make everything just... Though the main wave is gone. I think I'm hungry, though. I think I need to get some food as soon as I'm done here. Which means you know what we're going to do, right? Victory Smoke. Ready for tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow's Sunday. Hopefully take the kids to the pool tomorrow. I was supposed to take them today, but because the woman went to get her kids. She took the kids with her to go get her new van. By new, I mean used. She took the kids, and just the weather was kind of shitty today, so it really wouldn't have made much of a difference. But because she was out doing that, we didn't get to go to the pool today, so we're gonna try and go tomorrow. It's supposed to be kind of shitty early and then fine later on, so I'm hoping during that fine later on phase we can go and just chill. But yeah, it was... Other than that, it was a good day. It was funny because, you know, my girl takes the kids with because in her head she's thinking that, oh, I'm taking the kids with, this will give them some peace and quiet so we can sleep a little bit. But instead what ended up happening is my stepson, who I was talking about earlier, his grandmother went to a cabin for the weekend and with other family members, and obviously can't leave the dog at home. It was like, you got to take the dog with you. So his dog Maisie has been staying with us, and she's a cute little thing, but she has the worst separation anxiety. It is so fucking annoying. And when none of the people that she knows are around, this dog will just bark. Just nonstop. And what's actually funny is, I don't know if something ever happened to their vocal cords or like if their bark is just naturally like this, but his dog has like this bark that's like it's like a fucking it's like a turkey goblin. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's the most hilarious fucking bark in the world. But, you know, my girl took the kids, but because none of the people that this dog knows was around, I got woken up instead to fucking turkey gobbles. So, it was nice. My girl tried doing something nice, and it almost worked. But, you know, this dog and its separation anxiety, it's just the worst. But it's a good dog nonetheless. I like her. She's funny. It was funny, though, to, like, get her to kind of just chill and relax I had picked the dog up and put her on my bed, and our dog like popped his head up to where I could see him and just gave me the saddest, most pathetic look in the world. Because he just looked at me like, why is that dog up here and not me? And obviously, you know, if my dog could argue, I would have no argument against him. And I was like, all right, well, get your fat ass up here. So it was just funny the look he gave. Just almost of, if I wouldn't have brought him up, just utter betrayal. Just, what? Why is that dog up there? Especially the way he shakes. He just sounds like he sounds like a fucking himbo brute. Just a beefy dog. Yeah, I was not expecting to have this dog for the weekend. And yeah, anytime my stepson leaves, this dog just constant turkey gobbles. And ugh, this is just no fun. It is no fun indeed. But, you know, other than that, the dog is fine. Little sad, little pathetic, little undergroomed. I want to get on my stepson's case about that because the last dog that we got that was primarily, let's face it, you know, not really my stepson's dog because I know he's not going to take care of it. It's my girl's mother that takes care of the dog. And the same with the last dog that we basically kidnapped from him. Because, yeah, we basically... One sec. Hold on. All right, well, never mind. I tried being nice to my girl, but she's just insisting on doing something else. So, whatever. Let's take another snack, though. I do find it funny that somehow I still manage to get a B on the tutorial missions. That is the absolute just apex of my gaming ability. Now, I know I call this drunken strategy, which, you know, I'm not shit-faced, but I am a bit tipsy. But I fully am aware that I could have just aced that, because the only thing that was low was speed. And that was just because I insisted on making them suffer. Because I guess for context, it was some weeks ago when I was kind of testing things with this game in other ways. I'd actually done unit repair, and I don't know why I had a hard time taking out those tanks. Like, they just, I think what it was that, can I even see? Oh yeah, no, let me, where you see the blue cities that were the original enemy cities that I captured, on the top one, you go one to the right, one up, one to the right again. There's that mountain, but there's two green squares next to it, meaning the tanks can attack you from two different angles. And I made a mistake of putting one of my mech units there, and it just absolutely did not work. So that was most unfortunate. So, I'm not gonna lie, when I played through it this time, I kind of was a little vindictive and was like, no, let me destroy these tanks. Which meant, like always, I took a hit on speed. I think it might have been the first stream. I went through and I looked at all the rankings I got in my first playthrough of the game, and they were pretty much all steadily B ranks. So and it was always speed that I took the hit on. That is just how I roll. I will destroy many an enemy unit. I will capture many an enemy unit. I will also probably take a little too long doing so. I guess when it comes to strategy games, I just am a little overly cautious. So I usually end up losing less than I otherwise should, but also it's going to take me a minute. So, but, oh well, I will take a, I'm not really like A rank hunting. That's not what I'm really focused on. Because I've obviously seen, I know it's not in the tutorials, but in the missions you can also get S ranks. And, you know, there'll be walkthroughs I've seen of people that it's like, oh, S rank every mission. And I'm just not. It requires so much knowledge about the map and where things are and the most optimal way to go through. And it's just not me. Especially in the speed department. That's where I lack. That's always where I lack. So, who knows? Maybe after all these years, I can finally break that curse as we go on. But I'm not going to lie. I kind of doubt it. I'm just always a cautious Kathy. That's what I am. I'm a cautious Kathy. I just don't like to put my units in harm's way unnecessarily. Even though the units in this game, it's not like Fire Emblem where all the units are individual characters that have potentially, depending on the game, have personalities and everything else. You know, in these games, it's just faceless. They're just faceless soldiers. But still, maybe I'm just a weirdo. I feel weird just throwing soldiers at walls. It just feels, even in a strategy game where it's all nameless, it just feels gross. So, when I play, I will just always end up being, you know, a little. So, it is what it is. But yeah, next week we will be here for unit repair. Unit repair is mission 4. And I look forward to doing that shit as well. That is going to be a fun time, I guarantee it. Absolutely, 100%. Oh. Everything is painful. Everything hurts when you work UPS. Everything is painful. I need to go inside and get what I call better than sex. Which, my son has these cylindrical blocks. Just, you know, wooden, you know, cylinder blocks. Thin cylinders. And I'll just grind my feet along it. Especially because I get a lot of buildup of whatever it is that your heels get built up with. And I'll just run my heel along this wooden brick and, oh, you can just feel all the individual cracks. That is what I call better than sex. Because I tell you what, listen, obviously this is not the majority of the time, but having been with my girl for now about 7 years, I can tell you firmly that, like, my girl can lay sloppy toppy all she wants, and 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what I need in life. But the other 1 out of 10, would be a fucking foot massage. Oh. Could you imagine your girl just giving you a foot massage? Oh. Especially when you work labor. Because I don't know how much the weight difference is, but I wear like it's not metal, so it's not steel toe. It's like a hard plastic material. It's called composite. And each boot itself weighs like 1.8 pounds. So, there's the fabric and then everything else. So it's heavy. The woman would just give a foot massage every once in a while. I would fall in love even more. All right, that's enough rambling. I'm drunk, and we won. We were successful in our mission. We beat base capture. Next week, I will be here for unit repair. So I will see y'all then. Peace.